All right, another week of football is in the books. Let's move on to week 12. Last week I went 11-4 in predictions, but before I get started, I think I need to dish out an apology or two. First and foremost, Denver Broncos, I apologize to you. I haven't trusted you guys because, your offense wasn't putting up points. And that doesn't necessarily mean you're a bad team. I never thought you were a bad team. But I did think that your offense may hinder you in certain situations. And although I maybe still believe that to a degree, you proved me wrong. You proved the doubters wrong on Sunday by going out there and beating the top dog of the division in the Kansas City Chiefs. And right now you have sole possession of the AFC West crown heading into your bye week. So congratulations to you. You made me look like an idiot. So I apologize to you sincerely. Now, let's get into another apology. Jalen Ramsey, I apologize. On Sunday, in my recap video, I called you an idiot. I called you an idiot for doing what you did, but after certain things happened and came out, I apologize to you. I understand why you did what you did. I completely understand. Now, at the end of the video, I have a fantasy football crisis that I want answers to, but that's for then if you're interested. Let's get into why you clicked on the video. First and foremost, Thursday Night Football, we've got the Buffalo Bills taking on the Houston Texans. Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen decided he was going to be Josh Allen on Sunday with 6 total touchdowns, 3 passing, 3 rushing, even after throwing a couple picks early on in that game. He bounced back, and he bounced back rather well. As for the Houston Texans, you got to win on Sunday, and that's all that matters. The offense, it may not be the best, but you're finding ways to win games right now. It has been announced that Davis Mills is going to be the starting quarterback for this game. But if you want the truth on a short week, I very well could see this game going either way. Just because it's a short week and you never know what's going to happen. But it's hard for me to pick against the Bills after seeing what I saw last week. So I'm going to take the Bills here in this one. I don't think it'll be a super high scoring game, but I do think that the Bills will be able to put up more points than the Texans. Moving on, we've got the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Chicago Bears. The Steelers on Sunday, it was probably their best team effort of the season, if we're being honest. The offense was efficient despite having injuries to both Aaron Rodgers and Jaylen Warren. Darnell Washington was a grown man on Sunday, needless to say. Rodgers may miss this game with a slight break in his hand, but in all honesty, Mason Rudolph, he's the kind of guy where you can trust him for a game or two, and you should be okay for the most part. As for the Bears, you gotta win on Sunday. You escape the Vikings, and although not all of your games are pretty, you're still finding ways to win games, and as a result, you lead the NFC North right now, and that's respectable in its own right. I am going to go with the Steelers here in this one, regardless of who starts at quarterback, just because the offense isn't much different with or without Rodgers in there. Because Rudolph, he knows the system, he has been in this situation before, and he has found ways to win games. And I really do think that if the Steelers can continue generating pressure, right now they're second in the league in sacks, behind only the Denver Broncos, this team can absolutely still win games even despite not having Aaron Rodgers back there. Although, personally, I hope he plays just because of the Aaron Rodgers versus the Bears thing, but that's neither here nor there. I do think the Steelers can get this win. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears take the win here. But I am going to go with the Steelers, and maybe that's a slight bit of bias, whatever. But I do think Rudolph is a capable backup. Moving on, we've got the New England Patriots taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Patriots, on Thursday, you did what you were supposed to do. You beat the Jets, and that's what mattered. Now, the Patriots, where do I begin with the Patriots? Patriots, they're an all-around good team. TreVeyon Henderson has been on a really hot streak lately. Cincinnati Bengals, it sounds like Ja'Marr Chase is going to miss this game due to his own stupidity. He's going to appeal that suspension, but I don't see a way in which he does. He ends up playing this game. And so I am going to have to go with the Patriots here in this one. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bengals can put up points and it's a close game, but I do think the Patriots should be able to take this one at the end of the day. Next up, we've got the New York Giants versus the Detroit Lions. The New York Giants, a game that you can argue maybe the Giants should have won. But you know what? Bad teams find ways to lose games. The Packers in that game, they were dropping passes. Their defense was dropping interceptions. Packers look sloppy, but they still escape with the win, and the Giants leave with yet another loss. And also, fun fact, the Giants can be eliminated from the playoffs this week. I think 3 different scenarios. A scenario in which they lose and a couple other teams win. It's complicated, but the Giants can be eliminated from the playoffs this week. The Detroit Lions offense had a rough showing on Sunday Night Football against the Eagles. I don't think there's really any shame in that, though. The Eagles have a really good defense. I am going to have to go with the Lions here in this one. I do think the offense can bounce back. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe the offense struggles again, just given the fact that Giants don't have that bad of a defense. I am going to go with the Lions here. I do think that Jahmyr Gibbs is going to have a great day. I'm calling it. Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery each get a touchdown. Moving on, going pretty quick today. We got the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Green Bay Packers. The Vikings, rough loss against the Bears. Real rough loss. I mean, you had him, but then you let up a 60-some yard kick return, and you let him kick the game-winning field goal. The Vikings, J.J. McCarthy hasn't looked great, but you know what? He's only played, 5, 6 games? It's still very early in his career. He can still turn things around. As for the Packers, as I mentioned before, rough game, didn't look the best, rather sloppy. I am going to have to go with the Packers in this game. I think that their offense can simply put up more points than the Vikings right now. Justin Jefferson has been struggling, although I don't really think that's necessarily all his fault. I am going to go with the Packers, even with the Josh Jacobs injury. I think that the Packers can still find a way to run the ball against this Vikings defense. And if not, Christian Watson, he'll be down there somewhere. Christian Watson, it looks like he's emerged as the number 1 in this offense, at least without Jaden Reed being there. Well, who knows when he's going to come back, if at all. But I do think the Packers should be able to win this game. Moving on, we've got the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Tennessee Titans. I'm not going to waste your time. I'm picking the Seattle Seahawks. I know Sam Darnold didn't look great last week, but you know what? I was kind of expecting that. Maybe not 4 interceptions bad, but I was kind of expecting Sam Darnold to struggle. As I predicted last week, I thought Sean McVay would have a plan for Sam Darnold, and it looks like he did. But I do think this is definitely a get-right game for the Seahawks, playing the Titans. I think the Seahawks should be able to win this game. Moving on, we've got a very intriguing matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Kansas City Chiefs. And fun fact, this game on ESPN has a 50-50 pick ratio. So half the people pick Indy, half the people pick the Chiefs. So I guess I'm the tiebreaker if you really want to put it that way. Indy, coming out the bye, they beat the Falcons in Germany. That was great. The Chiefs, coming off of a rough loss against the Broncos, now just fighting to stay alive. This game is tough. This game is very tough. I'm going to go with the Chiefs, and it's nothing against the Colts. I just think the X factor in this game is going to come down to coaching. Because the coaching in this game is very intriguing. Colts obviously have had a very good season, but maybe some can argue they've overachieved. I think they're legit. But I think Andy Reid can find a way to scheme around Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense. Now it's just a matter of whether or not the Chiefs can score points against this Indy defense. I think this is going to be a 24-27 type of game where I think the Chiefs just barely squeak out of here with a win. And I think they're going to win because they know they have to. So give me the Chiefs here in this one, but I don't feel great about it. I really don't. And I promise you, if the Chiefs lose this game, I am out on the Chiefs. That is a promise. Next up on the radar, we've got the New York Jets taking on the Baltimore Ravens. What a thrilling game this is going to be. The New York Jets, Thursday Night Football didn't go as I'm sure you wanted it to. You got clobbered by the Patriots. Tyrod Taylor is going to get the start in this game, so it's a bit different there. Other than that, I don't have much faith in you. Baltimore Ravens, you're coming off of 4 straight wins. 4 straight wins. And right now, you guys are rolling. Even when Lamar Jackson doesn't play well, you guys still find a way to win. The defense has been great recently. I'm going to have to go with the Ravens here in this one. I can't really see the Jets winning this game. The Ravens are going to blow them out of the water. I hope I'm wrong. Moving on, we've got the Cleveland Browns taking on the Vegas Raiders. What do you want me to say? Let's see. Cleveland, Dylan Gabriel, he got hurt in that game. He's in concussion protocol, so we'll see if he plays in this game. If he doesn't play, it'll be Shedeur Sanders, who really struggled against the Ravens. We'll see what happens. I don't love anything about this team right now. Judkins has had a problem getting things going as of recent. As for the Raiders, they're just bad. They're just bad, and we saw that on Monday Night Football. They struggled against the Cowboys, both offensively and defensively. But I do think the Raiders overall have a better offense than Cleveland. I think that they can get things going with Brock Bowers and Ashton Jeanty, even against this Cleveland defense. I think that if you want the truth, it's going to be a low-scoring game, but I do think the Raiders should be able to pull this one out. But we'll see. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. I really don't know what to tell you about this game, to be honest. It's going to be bad, but that's okay. Moving on, we've got the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Arizona Cardinals. The Jaguars blew the Chargers out of the water, which apparently nobody expected except me. I expected that because that's the kind of thing the Chargers do. They always find a way to lose games that they're expected to win. They do this all the time. And I picked the Jaguars last week to win, and they did. So thank you, Jaguars, for making me look like a genius, something that has been very hard to come by this season. But moving on to the Arizona Cardinals, they lost by 19 points, but Jacoby Brissett set an all-time NFL record for completions in the game, so you got that going for you, which, by the way, I think is the most Arizona Cardinals stat ever. But aside the point, Arizona is going to win this game. The reason I think Arizona is going to win this game is because this season is stupid, and Jaguars are stupid, and they're going to find a way to lose this game because they should win. And that's how this season has gone. So yeah, I think Arizona is going to win this game for no other reason than it just wouldn't make sense. But yeah, Arizona is going to win this game. I think we'll see what happens with Marvin Harrison. We'll see if he plays this week. He obviously had surgery on something, I forget. But he missed last week. We'll see if he plays this week. But Jacoby Brissett, he's been doing okay in that Arizona offense. So I do think that, yeah, I think the Cardinals are going to win this game. Moving on, we've got the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Eagles, the offense, it may not be pretty. But boy, that defense can carry you all the way. Jalen Phillips has been unbelievable. The pass rush has been getting there. The secondary has been lethal. Man, that defense is something special. As for the Cowboys, quite the opposite for you guys. You guys don't have a defense, but you have an offense. George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb are playing outstanding. And that's really all you need in this Cowboys offense right now. Javonte Williams and Dak Prescott don't have to do much when CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens are somewhere 30 yards down the field, wide open. But I do think the Eagles should be able to win this game. Obviously, the last time these two teams played, it was week 1, very different circumstances. But I do think that the Eagles should be able to win this game. And I'm calling it now, Saquon Barkley gets a touchdown. Moving on, we've got the Atlanta Falcons versus the New Orleans Saints. Another apology, if I may. Atlanta Falcons. I am so sorry. I am so sorry that I keep wanting to believe in you. I keep wanting to believe in this team, and every week, you guys make me look like an idiot. So I'm sorry for putting belief in you. That is my mistake, and I promise I will never do that again. Except this week, because I'm picking the Atlanta Falcons again against the New Orleans Saints. Because I never learn. Kirk Cousins is going to be playing in this game, who hasn't looked great when he's come in relief for Penix. Drake London is going to miss this game. That's not great. Who knows what Darnell Mooney's status is? Kyle Pitts is going to have 20 targets in this game. But as for the Saints, I can't trust them either. Coming off the bye, they're at home. It sounds like the Saints should be able to win this game. But I don't know if they're going to be able to, because I don't think the Saints are a very good football team. Oh, God, I don't feel great about it, but I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons, because I never learn with this team. I never freaking learn. I never learn. And I think Bijan Robinson is going to have a great day. And I think that's going to be the X factor in this game. But Falcons, if you ask me, I think you need a coaching change. I think you should give Penix another year. I mean, this was an injury-riddled year for him. And he played okay. Still some learning pains, but that's just my opinion on the Falcons right now. As for the Saints, I'm sure you're waiting for this season to be over. Moving on, Sunday Night Football, we've got Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the LA Rams. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they've been struggling lately. They've lost 2 straight games. And the offense, particularly Baker Mayfield, hasn't looked anything spectacular. He hasn't looked spectacular lately. He struggled to pass few games, like 3 out of the past 4 games. And the Rams, they look like a juggernaut. You can argue they're Super Bowl favorites right now. I think this game is going to come down to a pass rush. And right now, I trust Tampa Bay more on that front. I think Tampa is going to be able to get to Matt Stafford. One advantage that Tampa does have is that Baker is a bit mobile. He can run around in the pocket. Stafford doesn't really have that mobility. So I do think that Tampa does win in that department. And so as a result, I'm going to go with Tampa. I'm taking the upset. I think this is a bounce-back game for Baker, and I think Tampa is going to have 3 sacks on Stafford on the day, and I think that's going to win them this game. Moving on, we've got Carolina Panthers taking on the San Francisco 49ers on Monday Night Football. Why is this the Monday night game? Did the schedule makers really see this game at the start of the season and say, yes, that is Monday Night Football material? Regardless, Bryce Young setting the all-time Carolina Panthers passing yards record. So good for him, man. I'm super happy for him, and I really want him to do well. As for the 49ers, you didn't have any significant injuries, and you blew out the Cardinals in Brock Purdy's return. I think that's a great day for you guys. I am going to go with the 49ers here. I think that, I think the Panthers will be able to get the running game going just against that 49ers defense, which is very beat up right now. But I don't think it'll be quite enough. I don't think that Panthers secondary is going to be able to really stop George Kittle. I think he's in line to have a big day. I'm going to take the 49ers here in this one. I think their offense can just score more points. Anyways, that's it for my picks. Now, if you've stayed this long, I have a fantasy football crisis. So, I traded Kenneth Walker for Michael Pittman. I feel pretty good about that trade. And then there were a couple other backups in that trade for a couple of other backups. But right now, I have a trade. Potentially. I have two potential trades. I have James Cook potentially being traded for Devon Achane. The problem is that the guy I'm playing this week has Devon Achane, and Achane is on a bye. That guy is also 6-5. I'm sitting at 7-4. So if he were to win this week against me, I'd be in a really tight spot, where I'm otherwise sitting pretty good. On the other hand, I have a trade where I give up James Cook and Blake Corum for Saquon Barkley and Tank Bigsby. Now, the reason I'm interested in this one in particular is because I love Saquon's end-of-year schedule, as opposed to James Cook, who has it a bit rough. So I don't know what to do. I'm torn right now. Right now, my starting running backs, I still have Jonathan Taylor, and then I have James Cook. Those are my two starting running backs, and they have been since week 1. I don't know, man. I really don't know what to do. Should I trade for Barkley, trade for Achane, or should I just keep James Cook? Let me know if you care enough. I always read comments. May not always respond, but I do always read them. Anyways, I guess with that being said, have a great day, and don't die.